You are now tuned in to My Skin is My Sin on Blog Talk Radio. From goons to gods, we welcome everyone. We only have one rule, and that's be respectful. You are now tuned in to My Skin is My Sin on Blog Talk Radio. Goons to gods, we welcome everyone. We only have one rule, and that's be respectful.
Holla at us next week, man.
No doubt, man, and definitely shout out to the family, liberationmindedmedia.net. That is Black Eye Stand, Do the Knowledge Radio, The Rundown with Renee, and My Skin is My Sin. And don't forget to share the show, man. If you check it out today, or if you check it out next week, or if you check it out in 1,000 years, and if you are that motherfucker that digs us up in 1,000 years, you are the most phenomenal individual to ever walk the galaxy for digging up this greatness and still share our shit, man. Shout out to you. Don't forget to check out the websites, embroshell.com, designsbymonet.com, and myskinismysin.net.
Ladies night. Live on My Skin is My Sin Radio this Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live streaming on the YouTube channel, My Skin is My Sin, and the Facebook fan page, My Skin is My Sin. Ladies night.
Black woman steps up to mic. Black woman has a poem gestating deep inside her belly, can feel the painful pulse of contraction, her mouth fully dilated, but she is afraid to push the poem from her lips for fear that the crowd will call her baby ugly, its cries unworthy of being heard, or even worse, they will try to kill it. Because see, black woman has become accustomed to having her babies slaughtered. Black woman has become accustomed to the same kind of death herself. Black woman feels like she should change her name from mother to martyr. Black woman is even afraid to call herself black woman too many times in this here poem because she has been taught that she is too insignificant to be acknowledged. Black woman steps up to mic. But before she could even speak a word, she already hears the crowd's thoughts. Shut up, bitch. Nobody wants to hear your black woman poems. You can shout and roll your neck all you want besides. Nobody hears your dog whistle of a voice besides other black bitches. Black woman steps up to mic. Prays that she gets it right. Realizes that her voice is usually the only darkness in a sea full of white. She prays that telling her own story is more powerful and stronger than the men who try to do it for her or to her. Because see, black woman realizes that everybody wants a piece of black woman, but black woman can't even speak her own piece. Black woman tries to seek peace between the mic and the crowd in what feels like light years of space, and light travels faster than sound. So black woman knows that you will see her before you ever decide to hear her. Black woman steps up to mic, cognizant of how she appears, in front of a jury that probably don't see her as their peers. She doesn't want to come off too black, too woman. Black woman is taught that she don't hurt, that she don't feel a thing, that her melanin and estrogen cancel out the human in her DNA. Black woman is taught that her sorrow is a false alarm that goes off way too often, while white sorrow gets to struggle to scream his privilege all over the place. Black woman steps up to this mic. She feels the urge to push, but she doesn't want to tear. She doesn't want you to interpret weakness from her tears. She doesn't want to be called a crybaby. So she gently rocks her poem in the back of her throat and she whispers to it, shh, don't cry, baby. Instead, yell, wail like you want nothing more than to break the shell and be born. You shout out to them about how you survived it all, the rape, the racism, the ravaging of your body for the sake of beauty. You tuck your chin into your chest and you push, girl. You push like you deserve to be heard. You push like you deserve to be here. You push like you a virgin. You push like you have a savior to deliver to this world. Black woman, when you step up to this mic, you better had spoken.
What's good, fam? This is Jobs, and you are tuned in to My Skin is My Sin, live on Facebook and YouTube. From goons to gods, we welcome everyone. We only have one rule, and that's be respectful. Shout out to you. Shout out to your family. Hopefully you having a dope day. If not, let's see if we can make it better. And we're going to jump into this ladies' night if anybody is interested. So shout out to the queens out there. The number is 216-539-0659. We got the plug in the building. What's good, bruh? Oh, my bad. What's good, bruh?
Shit, man, what's going on?
I'm just making sure we got everything together. Yeah, we should be good now. D Macy Love in the building. How you doing? What's going on? That's pretty dope. Where's Worcester? Damn. I'm terrible with names, man. On YouTube. Oh fuck, what's her name? It'll come to me in a minute. Anyway,
Armin.
What's going on with you, bro? How's life?
Life is life. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing to be alive. I'll say that. Life is good. I ain't gonna complain. My kids is good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm good.
Yeah, it is a blessing to be alive. And it'd be some days, man, where if we're gonna be honest, man, it'd be some days you question that shit. But the good days, when you look back on the totality of your life, the good days so vastly outweigh the bad days. It's just some of the bad days, just we tend to hold on to some of the negative energy, myself included. And my bad, I'm just trying to put a couple of things together. Oh, bam, there we go. And check. Oh, shout out to Mahogany in the building. It would be dope to have Mahogany call up too. Call up, Queen, 216-539-0659. D Macy too. We want to talk about some shit. And one thing I did notice, man, I literally just searched on YouTube for I just put in black women. And like 90% of the shit that popped up was about relationships.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at least from, the first couple of screens that I saw, it was exclusively almost about relationships. And then I had to think, like, that is generally what we talk to sisters about. Like, why is that?
Yo, I don't know, man. Like, I'd rather hear suggestions than, like, just stay how I feel. I don't know. I kind of feel like, granted, black women are amazing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing greater. You know what I mean? But like at the end of the day, I think like society now produces like it's a different type of beast. You know what I'm saying? It's a different type of animal you're dealing with, and that shit's hard, man.
I mean, we're gonna be honest about society now. Like, let's keep it a stack. Men can't get away with shit like they used to.
No, it's not just that though.
I mean, the pendulum has swung a little too far in a lot of aspects. I will admit that. But
right.
Generally speaking, like, we can't get away with like just doing outlandish shit like we could 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that, but I don't think that's what.
Hold on 1 second, bro. We do got a caller. Oh damn! I forgot to merge you into the call. What's good, fam?
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on, Queen?
Oh, God is good. I tell you what, God is good.
Oh man, Rome, can you hear me, bro?
Oh, my sidekick is supposed to be on here? Oh.
Yeah, I think I hung up on Rome though, on accident. Cause I should have added.
He gotta call back.
Yeah, well, he gonna have to do that. But yeah, I think I may have hung up on him. And my bad, bro. I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to merge the calls, and somehow that did not work. Um, so I'm trying to see if I'm still on the call with Rome, and it don't appear that I am. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. What's good, bruh?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And so I'm not sure how to add Lotus to the conversation, and that's what I was trying to do, and it is not work for some reason. Like I inadvertently answered it on like a separate line, and so now I can't merge the two. But hold on one second. Let me I'm gonna have to learn some shit. Queen, can you do me a small favor? Hang up and call right back.
Sure, babe.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, yeah, we good now.
All right, bet.
Yeah, she's just gonna hang up and call right back. Yeah, that was my bad right there. All right, now we should be good. Yeah. Yeah, that we should be good. She should be on the line right about now. How you doing, Queen?
I'm well, and yourself?
Doing good. I'm doing good. Rome, you good? You live?
Yeah, Lotus, what up?
What is up, my dear friend?
No, ain't a whole lot.
So Queen, I don't know if you was listening, but what we were discussing was like I searched black women on YouTube, and like the first couple of pages were almost exclusively about relationships, and then I had to think about even with myself, like that's generally what like when sisters come on the show for some reason or another, that's what we end up talking about in some way, and. And so I had to think about to myself, like, am I being part of a problem that I didn't know existed? Am I pushing the narrative? No. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be that guy.
Well, no. I mean, when it comes to women in relationships, in some cases, it's the very focal point of social dealing. Like, if you're able to deal with something in-house, then it kind of sets the stage and the foundation for how you conduct yourself outside of the area in which you're in relationship-wise, in different facets.
Okay.
Especially when you're dealing in the areas of black women in particular. You know what I mean? They kind of, talking about relationships with black women can be very, very delicate because of what I just said.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if one thing falls apart in the house, then everything falls apart surrounding her, if you know what I mean. So that's why a lot of times that comes up, and that's why, no matter what, particular subject you speak about, it always kind of floats toward the social interaction between men and women,
Yeah, I just didn't want to be that guy pushing some type of narrative that it just seemed odd to me. It just seemed like, because sisters is much more than that. But there's just some shit that you just don't even think about. I guess when you're talking to a sister from a man's standpoint, and I just didn't want to be part of that where I'm only looking at sisters from this particular lens. So I had to check myself a little bit because I find myself kind of doing that. Even though it's a lot of sisters out there that's interested in football or that's interested in accounting, even though I'm not interested in accounting, you get my point.
Yeah.
Like, and I is it sexist? Is it, like you say, just the nucleus of everything is the family? So in some way, you kind of justify talking about it with women because, y'all are the birth of society. I don't know if that even makes sense.
It does make sense.
Sometimes I overthink shit.
In some cases, I think that what you're saying is not overthinking because a lot of times, as you have said, from the perspective of a male, it really isn't the focal point, it's just kind of like you said, if it's about football or if it's about money or if it's about some type of, for lack of a better term, trying to climb the social station, that's more the focal point. If a man is talking, like if you're talking about a subject, it doesn't veer off anywhere. Versus with a woman, it just kind of, you're like, well, when it comes to accounting, me and my boyfriend or me and my husband, we talk about, the finances together, or he doesn't talk to me about them, or I don't talk to him about them. Everything just kind of floats back to the social interaction within the stronghold of the relationship, and it sprawls outward, So that's where that comes from. Everything from learning about trust to compromise to love to sex to all of that plays into the interaction between the man and the woman, and it spreads out socially.
So what's on your mind tonight, Queen? What do you want to talk about? Rome, and hold on before you answer that. Rome, you still there, bro?
Yeah, I'm in.
Oh, okay. Make sure you good, man. What was on your mind, Queen?
Well, actually, it was kind of interesting. I wanted to talk about the social piece of medicine, and I know that's kind of corny because just recently I had got an email at work talking about the social climate in medicine, especially with diversity and inclusion, And I brought up the argument about how we needed to bring in, more people of color in areas of physics, science, and nursing. And I got a lot of pushback until today. That's why I was so happy about it. Because today I was told by our director that I was going to be one of the social research analysts at the hospital, and I'm the only Black female that's going to be conducting the qualitative research of social interaction in medicine. So one of the focal points I focused on was the fact of trust, about how a lot of my patients who are of color really aren't trustworthy of people who are Caucasian. And we went through this before many times, myself, yourself, Joseph, about the trust factor and the quality of medicine that is put in when there's the lack thereof of trust. For example, if somebody gets sick, they give them a script for a pill and tell them to push on their way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do the research on why that is and bring that back to the board of directors. Because the board of directors is acting as though this is not a problem. And the board is very diverse. They're Blacks, they're Asians, Hispanics, and international people. So I wanted to ask you, because you're into medicine too, do you honestly think that there is a problem, even though diversity is slowly climbing up the chain in medicine?
I mean, well, yes, unequivocally. People bring their biases to work no matter what you do in life. And you see that. People make assumptions about Black patients. They're not going to take their medicine anyway. I'm not going to waste much time on them. The way that we express our displeasure may be off-putting to some, as far as from the patient aspect. Because, I done had some asshole patients. I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, I had asshole white patients that get treated totally different. God damn, what the hell is that? God damn. Yeah, it's crazy right there. Anyway, social shit, definitely plays a huge factor. And if we keeping it a stack about medicine, like, we are being harmed way more by socially unjust medicinal practices than anything else, and we just don't realize it. You can put getting shot by the cops, all of that shit, like the shit that goes down towards us by doctors, nurses, respiratory therapists, the whole nine. It is completely different. Trust and believe. You know, so what we have to do is be individual advocates. You know, you may not necessarily be able to change the planet, but you can change your patient for that day. Like I've literally, yeah, and that's fucked up, Carmen. You ain't getting no notification. What's up? Shout out to you, Queen. But as a nurse, as a nursing assistant, more importantly, because they be with the patients way more than anybody else. You know, so be an advocate for your sisters and brothers, because you're gonna be in their shoes one day. Make no mistake. If you lucky, you know, if you lucky enough to make it 85 years old, and that is a privilege that is not extended to a lot of people. You know, so treat people like you're gonna be in that spot one day. And shout out to Carol and Ayoba. And Queens, if you got something you want to talk about, don't forget to call us up at 216-539-0659. I will give you the Skype name, but I forgot.
No.
It is what it is. I mean, you know what? The one thing about medicine, and yes, black women are probably being harmed more by medicine than any other ethnicity. The thing with that is, though, with medicine, you can research your way out of getting screwed over. You can't do that like with cops. You can know the law and they'll still shoot you. Like doctors, if you have done your due diligence on whatever diagnosis that you have, they may not like it, but they can't counter what you're saying because you got facts on your side. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
so you can definitely do a lot more as far as controlling outcomes. It's difficult. I'm not gonna lie, but if you know somebody in the medical profession, call them up and ask them. You know, so and so. I looked this up. Blase Splee. What do you think about this? Because medicine is like when they come up with a pill, it's for white men first.
Right.
And that's who they are designing that medicine for, is white men. Then white women, then brothers, then sisters. You know, with the Latino brothers and Asian somewhere in the mix. You know, but so a lot of things are not going to work on sisters as they are being sold to work. So you have to do your due diligence. Like, unless you have something really extreme like an aggressive cancer or something that is threatening your life, I would not try anything that's not been on the market more than a year.
Right.
You know, and be honest with your friends. Talk to your circle. You know, we don't talk enough. That's, you know, talk to your man about his health.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing I think that women do a great job at, and men do a horrible job at. And when you got a good woman, she keep on you about making sure you good. You know, and vice versa. That's crazy. Nobody ever gets notifications from us. That's like pissing me off. Anyway, it was something else I wanted to talk about too. And I just can't. Who are you voting for? Who the sisters voting for? I need to know. Who do you want to win for the president?
No, honey. I mean, they're all sinister to me, so I couldn't even tell you.
Oh, come on.
Like,
you're not going to vote?
I'm going to vote, but it's going to be one of those things where I would have to pick the lesser of the two evils. Because that's basically what we've been doing. I voted last time, you know, and I was not happy with the results.
Who's you voted? You voted for Hillary?
Did I? I don't think I did. I think I did somebody else because I definitely didn't do Trump. But I was like, okay, I voted or whatever. I mean, my thing was because I was like studying politics and how they do it with the Electoral College and all that other business. What was I reading too? I was reading something else about politics. But anyway, it was for my healthcare administration thing and public administration. But it was like, okay, well, we picked these people And they give us this whole spiel, and this is just from what I'm seeing. I don't necessarily agree with it, but it's like, this one guy, me and him battled about it last year, and he was like, I don't understand what voting means anyway, because, I might vote for somebody, and then it comes out the opposite way, so what's the point in voting? Well, here's the thing. You're not the only one in the nation that's going to vote. That's one. And two, you got to understand there are a lot of fingers in the pot. So it's not just literally, you voting and then boom, that's it.
Well, what do black women want? What do black women require in the candidate? What are the needs of black women in today's society from a political standpoint? Let's say your candidate comes to your crib trying to sell themselves. And they ask you, okay, well, what is it that you require for me to get your vote?
I mean, for me, personally, as a female, I would want to hear things that have to do with health and social service. How can you help me have a way to better socially and financially take care of my family? How can I take care of myself and my children academically? How can I take care of them medically? I mean, I don't want to hear about, well, all you have to do is in social service area anyway. Well, we're just going to give you a job and that's good enough to pay your bills. Well, if I'm making only 80 cents on the dollar versus a man who's making $1 on the dollar, and I've got these kids to take care of, and I'm a single parent, well, how is that helping me? And you're telling me, oh, well, you can't make as much because you got to take time off, and what if you get pregnant, or, something happens with your kid, or something happens at home, you got to pull out, things of that nature, or academically, how can you help me out academically, even though women are slowly climbing up the chain of getting more degrees?
Yeah, I think like that's one area that black women are outshining pretty much all of their counterparts. So
yeah,
I'm not sure that necessarily is an area. I guess more help would be necessary. And let me see, that's some interesting shit too. I did want to bring that up too, Carmen. T.I. and his daughter. I mean, I don't know if everybody knows the story or whatnot, but basically, I can't remember what show he was on, and I did not listen to it. But from what the internet says, he goes to the doctor with his daughter to make sure that her hymen is intact. And
yeah,
I don't. To me, right there, that's just it makes no sense. Like, first off, I think she's like 15 or 16 years old. And I'm not advocating this, but she could literally go have an abortion if it was legal in that state, and he would not have to report it to him. She's 18. Okay. Oh my God. That's like, come on. Like, she's an adult. That's fucking creepy. That's creepy. Like that.
It is.
And at this point, what you're saying to yourself and to your daughter is that you feel like, hold on, and we do got somebody calling up real quick. Hold on. But what you're saying is, I don't think I did a good enough job as a parent while you was growing up to trust your decision making now.
Right.
To me, that's a bigger testament on his thoughts on the job that he did than anything else. And I did try to get someone, I don't know who this is, on the line. What's good, fam? Hello?
Uh-oh. I think we lost him.
They still there, and the sad part, like I don't really know how to hang up on anybody. So you'll just be here.
My God.
Right. You'll just be here. Well, actually, it only says 3 people are in the call, so I just figured out how to do that shit like right now. Wow, he lets his son have sex. So Carmen got all of the tea on this shit. The daughter is 18, and he lets his son have sex. Like, I'm less concerned. Like, first off, he's not letting his son have sex. You know, even though that may be in his warped way. Oh, damn. Hold on 1 second. All right, let's try this again. What's good, fam? You there? It's a 4122 number. I answered it. I'm not sure what's going on, family. You know, appreciate you calling though. It is 216-539-0659. But yeah, like that whole scenario to me is a bit much, you know. And
it is.
Having been through the process of raising kids, you know, or helping raise kids, I should say. That shit's just weird. Like
It's weird. It's creepy.
Yeah.
It's showing a lack of trust on the part of the parent, and it makes the child feel kind of creeped out. Because I mean, I wouldn't want my father to be in the room with a gynecologist trying to check anything of mine. That just isn't right, you know. And you're right. It's narrowed down to trust. Does he trust himself to be a father, and does he trust his daughter? You know, and he's going to try to justify it by saying, "Well, I don't want."
And you got an echo going on, Queen.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a little bit better.
Okay.
And yeah, that was saying.
That shit ain't right.
No, that shit ain't right. And I'm sorry, Ayoba. Just so you know, I did answer to try to bring you in on the line, and we just couldn't hear anything. I'm not sure what that was all about, so I do apologize for that. And my bad, Queen. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm just saying. I mean, I just wouldn't feel right with that kind of thing going on. You know, I mean, when you saw this or when you heard about it, was there anything that T.I. said? Like, what was his justification for it?
I mean, like I said, I didn't see this, and I'm just pretty much going off of the internet and Carmen W. And I'm not sure why it's not like I'm seeing your number, Ayoba, and I am trying to answer it, and it's just not letting me answer that particular call for some reason. So I thought this would be, you know, as far as the call wise, you know, we ain't been having too many problems with it lately. So I guess it ain't gonna be perfect all the time. Plus, I kind of suck at this technology shit. I'm getting a little bit better.
Let's be honest about this.
Yeah, I gotta be honest about this. I do gotta be honest. You know, I'm pretty. I've gotten a lot better with at least the Skype though, so I haven't had any issues over maybe like the last month or so. And like immediately, like, and I see she's calling, and like it wouldn't even allow me to attempt to answer it that time. It just showed the number and disappeared immediately. You know, yeah. T.I. just said he doesn't want his daughter with industry men, and she needs to stay a virgin until. Like, why do you care, bruh? Like, why is that some type of ownership that you feel that you have? Why is that a concern of yours?
He knows, because he knows the industry. Like, because this nigga knows what goes on in the industry. Like, why you want your daughter to get smashed and passed around? Like, look at Steve Harvey's daughter.
Nigga, you built a motherfucking career off of bitches getting smashed and passed around. Now it's different.
Look out.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I want to apply to my daughter.
Yeah, man. Well,
I find that I really find that as a double standard, though. You can sit up there smash and pass somebody else's daughter, but you better not do it to mine. That doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he can't ask for that. It's like pure karma, as far as I'm concerned. You know, you can't sit up there and say, okay, well, you kind of what?
I understand that. As a father, I understand that angle. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're
really to that extent?
Yes, nigga.
I really want to know this. Let's hear it.
No, not to the extent of saying like I will go in a gynecologist's office with my daughter, any of that.
Okay.
But in the sense of saying, yo, I wouldn't want my daughter to be passed around in the industry like women I passed around. No, like why would I want that for my kid? Like nobody would want that for their kid. So like I don't think that's far fetched.
But the thing about it is that if you're going to have that aspect about your own, then you should be able to have that aspect, period. It can't be a thing where I can do this to everybody else, but it better not happen to me. You see what I'm saying?
We all kind of do that though. Like let's be if we go.
We do.
Yeah, we all kind of.
We do.
Yeah.
But to the point where it goes to this type of extreme, and he's probably the first because he's probably the first known that does this. Because I do know fathers that are like super duper overprotective to the point where they're stifling with their daughters. I've never heard of it being to this extreme.
Nah, they daughters be freaks.
I mean,
they daughters be the jump offs.
Yeah, like if you look at it, and historically speaking, what he's doing is actually nothing new. I mean, if you want to get technical about it, you can go back thousands of years, and motherfuckers been, selling the virginity of their daughters basically for years. I'm not saying he's selling the virginity of his daughter, but you get my point. But in the times that we are in, it's some creepy shit. It really is, and it's really not even an option of his because she could just say, "I don't want him in here," and the doctor would have to honor that. Case closed.
That's right.
So whatever he knows would have to go through her anyway.
Right.
And see, I don't be all like Carmen. Like I don't be all into like the whole industry who kid smashed who or who did what. I do remember was Steve somebody's daughter was messing with somebody's son, and then P Diddy's son, and now P Diddy was with her. That's like one of the few industry things that I think we didn't talk about where I actually like had heard about it before the show. Most of the shit, man, like I'm not really on that wave, I guess. But I do know, like, if you go back to college, like the quote-unquote preacher's daughter is usually the most promiscuous. The stricter the parents, the looser they are when they get let loose. So you're not doing her a service. You're doing her a disservice by distrusting her to the point where you publicly shaming her, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like she has a right to explore her sexuality growing up like everybody else had. Not to say take it to the extreme, not to say nobody wants their daughter to be the neighborhood thought. That's true. I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, as a parent, like you could do all that shit on your own. Like as long as I'm taking care of you, then you under my shit, then yeah, it's gonna be some rules to this shit. You know what I'm saying? So like I think that's an extreme, you know what I mean, as far as what he's doing, but also, at the end of the day, if I raise you, like, I take care of you, like, yeah, it's going to be some rules to this shit. Just bottom line. And
that's normal. But what he's doing is just abnormal. And you compounded that by allowing the public into the discussion, which was extremely selfish on his part as a father towards his child.
They're on TV. She's not. They do reality shows, but she's not worried about that, man. Like,
bruh, that like I'm sorry, man. Some things should be
you just keep
right. That's something so intimate from a human standpoint. Like what you do at the doctor is between you and your doctor. You don't want the whole fucking world to know, especially some weird shit like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty.
And let's look at it from a medical perspective. You can break a hymen doing 1,000 different things. It's not necessarily you having sex that can break your hymen. If you're going to look at it medically. So let's just say for shits and giggles, her hymen was broken. What is he going to do? Shame her some more and call her?
Wait a minute. I mean, is there really 1,000 different ways to break a hymen?
Literally.
Really?
It's very easy. It's a very thin sheath. It's not like it's thick or anything. It's very, very thin.
But damn, 1,000? Like what? I'm trying to sit here and think. Like I can't even come up with 1,000 ways to even make the attempt. That's a lot. I'm just. I'm just.
Look, Jerome knows. No, I'm just playing. I'm playing.
Wow, I did not know that riding bikes could do that. Tampons, I
Riding
guess
bikes,
I can see
riding
that.
horses, tampons. If you're like an extreme athlete, a gymnast, let me see.
Hey, let me ask you this: since
if
we
you're-
got you on the phone, have you ever asked a man to go to the store for tampons for you, or pads,
I
whichever
have.
your choice is?
I have.
Did they bother him?
With my ex-husband, yes, because he says that's not what men do.
Did he go?
I mean, after I cussed him out, yeah.
See, why you have to cuss him out though? Like,
Because his thing was whatever goes on with a woman's body is a woman's business, including with feminine hygiene. You know, and he was saying stuff like, well, you know, I don't want to go. Why don't you have, like, my oldest daughter go? And at the time, she was like 12. So I was like, why can't you go? Because you have the money, you have the car, just go and get them. It's not a big deal. Men do it all the time. And we would literally get into an argument about that. You know? I mean, it's just certain men just don't like doing certain things. And since we're on that topic of men not doing certain things, another thing my ex-husband didn't want to do was go to the store with my daughters to go get clothes for them or underwear for them.
Okay, so what's wrong with that?
That's what women do.
Okay, but why is that a problem? Why can't a man have certain things that is like, you know what, that's your lane right there, and you know I'm uncomfortable in that lane, and why don't you honor that and respect that, because you have those same rights to tell him, hey, you know, I don't feel comfortable doing X, Y, and Z. That's your lane.
Did you hear how you just said that to me?
Yeah.
If you had said that to me in the manner of what you just said it to me, like if my ex-husband had said it the way that you're saying it, then I would respect it. But if you come at me with this chauvinistic, you know, attitude, well, that's not what men do, and men do this, and women do this, you know, and you go down this whole chain, you know, like there's strict gender guidelines you have to follow and there's no gray area, then yeah, I'm going to have an argument about it, because you're not telling me, okay, well, I feel a little uncomfortable about it. This is where we draw the line, blah, blah, blah. It's all about the approach, Joseph. Not necessarily the word. It's the approach.
yeah, but he's kind of right though. Like, you know what, shopping with girls, it's not fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
It is.
It's
not.
just not. Like,
No.
I agree with him. Like,
Yeah.
yo, we don't want, like, this is like what makes females think like, yo, we don't want to stand in the bra and panty section with you for real, like, and it's not even it's not even Victoria's Secret. Like, if we just in like Target or something, like, I don't want to see the big ass bras and shit.
No.
Like,
No.
Not Target.
No, I don't.
yeah, I just don't. Like, I don't want to do any of that shit. Like, I want to go somewhere and mind my business and holler at you when you're finished. You know what I'm saying? Like, on some real shit. Like, he's right.
And why can't that be okay though? And that's the problem. It's like and see, communication is a two-way street, and I'm still learning this shit. Don't get me wrong. But knowing your spouse's delivery counts, and I don't think that would be the first time that he reacted in a certain way to certain things. You know, like he probably reacted that way all the time.
She cussed him out for this.
Yeah, she did.
But here's my thing.
She cussed him out for this.
Yeah, you did cuss him out for this.
But here's the thing though. How a person
And she's justifying.
Say what?
But see, Carmen,
you're justifying.
You are, but Carmen, that's a whole different ball game though. Like it's different. Like if you're going to the store by yourself to buy like sexy underwear for your woman, that's different. Going and shopping to buy drawers with your woman is different than your daughters or your mama. Like, I don't want to be at the store where my mama is buying drawers. I'm sorry, I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to do that shit. It's nasty. You know, it's the same thing with my daughters. I don't want to be at the store while you buying drawers. I am fully aware that, yes, you probably wear underwear. I don't want to be there while you purchase them. I'm just saying. You know,
Absolutely.
and yes, that may be sexist. Call it what you want. But most men are in that lane.
In that case, when you're talking about moms and daughters, that's one thing. But like when you're with your significant other, like I can't speak for everybody else, but I can talk about my experiences with the different relationships that I had.
Mm-hmm.
I had a guy that would go with me without question. He didn't feel any kind of shame or embarrassment or this is just what men do and I don't do that. He didn't do that either. But I have some that said, okay, I absolutely will not do blase split. Now, when I'm dating someone or if somebody is courting me, it's not a problem. We can go into VS together. We can go into Frederick's together. We can go into Spencer's together. But then as soon as, like in my case, the relationship started getting comfortable and we started getting exclusive, now it's, oh, well, I don't want to go in there with her and I'm feeling uncomfortable. Well, where was this uncomfortability while we recorded?
Can I answer this?
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Don't you start no mess.
This is the difference. When I'm courting you, while I'm courting you, I'm setting you up to get the draws. Like after I ain't got the draws, like I'm going to be a little bit more comfortable and I ain't got to do that shit no more.
Oh wow, really?
It's kind of true.
It is.
Really?
It is kind of true. I mean, but again, that is a two-way street, because the first date y'all go on, he doesn't see the bonnet. He sees you after being in the bathroom for 2 hours. You deciding which outfit for 2 days to wear. You know which you at your optimal. He ain't seeing you when it's that time of the month and you got on the gray sweats and 16 bonnets and you eating ice cream.
Why gotta be 16?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
You know, so that go both ways. Everybody put their best foot forward. And then you get to know a person the longer y'all together, and that's when you make a decision. Mm-hmm. Okay, is this somebody I want to move forward with? You know? Right. But you can't put that all on men, though. It ain't just us.
Oh, I don't. I mean, like with myself, I personally, I don't really care. I can go into, an outlet for men, and I can sit up there and pick out boxers and T-shirts and sweatpants and all that. I don't have a problem with that. Or I can go to a sports bar and talk shit. I'm a professional at it. I could go to a football game, basketball game. But see, that's just me because I'm that versatile. But some women, as you said towards the beginning, was, women don't necessarily like to talk or go to, sporting events because it's associated with male interaction. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it does go both ways.
I mean,
Absolutely.
but you can't punish a man for having parameters. Now,
I mean,
you can
opt parameters.
You can opt, but you like Rome said, you cuss the man out because he ain't want to buy you no pads. Like so that like.
Well, keep in mind it's that time of the month too, so whole lot of emotion throwing out there.
But that is an extremely sexist and unfair statement to make. You cannot say that I have carte blanche to treat you like shit every time I'm on my period.
We're just supposed to deal with it.
Right.
That's what they want. Women, yeah, that's what they want. We're just supposed to deal with it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And your three other personalities, you know what I'm saying? Like, that you go.
Not 3.
Like
I got like 12.
Yeah. Right. But we're supposed to figure all this shit out. Like sometimes niggas just want to be left alone. Like can I at least not have to go pick up your goddamn tampons?
Exactly.
Like at the least.
Like let's not act like this was some type of shock to you, like out of the blue.
Right.
Like you pretty much you're a grown woman now. You've been rolling with this for a minute, so you're aware that this time of the month is going to come. So you punish that man for your lack of planning and preparation.
Not lack of planning and preparation. Oh my goodness.
You got it.
Oh wow. I never looked at it from that perspective, and for that I fault myself.
Right. Like because, that's something you should like. Do you run out of toilet paper?
I do fault myself for that.
Right. No, you ain't nobody running out of toilet paper. You shouldn't run out of pads.
I mean, if I'm getting like 36 of them and I run through those, that's kind of bad. But I mean,
God damn.
I guess it just depends. Yeah, it's bad. I have premenstrual dysphoric disorder, so it's awful. I gotta take pills for the rest of my life. It's ridiculous. So
Oh, that just made me sick to my stomach a little bit.
Like you hear,
sorry.
Like you hear that? Like why would I want to have to be a part of that?
Like that's a lot too. That's like you like dehydrating and like leaking
literally,
for
weeks. I have iron infusions in my back.
Oh.
When I was in my 20s, I had to have them in my back every month.
Oh.
Until I was 25.
Wow.
So that was bad.
Wow.
And it subsided after I had my twins. So I was like, okay, well, there's that.
Wow, that's crazy.
And my ex went through all of that. Costco, here we go.
Oh, and
but
yeah, you cussed him out for not going to get your 74 pads. I can understand. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry.
And shout out to Carmen father. She say he was a single father. She started her period at 12 and didn't know what was going on. Her father talked to her and bought her some pads. That's pretty fucking dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I ain't know what to do. Like I froze up like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna hold you. Like I had to call my wife.
But you know what? It's not something that men are brought up to deal with. Yes, we have mothers, but your mother go in the bathroom. You just know when she take the purse in the bathroom, it's going down.
You better know it.
Move out the way, leave her alone. We get conditioned that we have to just deal with being mistreated verbally forever because that's just women. Is that fair to men?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
And this is how some dudes end up with side chicks.
I mean, but that if anything, that makes no sense. That would be a case to not have a side chick because now you don't have to deal with one crazy woman, right? Now you got to deal with two crazy, two women that's crazy 2 weeks out the month, allegedly. I'm not saying that every woman is crazy during that time of the month. I don't want anybody being mad at me.
Uh-oh. Well, my thing is like, since we're on the subject of side chicks and side dudes, okay? I mean, I always wanted to know for me, how are they able to deal with that to a great degree?
Are you listening to the show like on YouTube or something?
No.
I don't know why. Like your shit, like every so often it'll get an echo and then it'll just randomly go away.
I don't know. I'm not around anything, and I don't have multiple things up. So.
All right. We'll live with it.
I don't know what's going on. Maybe you've got that effect on me. I don't know.
Yeah, it does sound like that, Carmen. Yeah, the line is messing up. Like I could tell. Like I'm not sure. And that's probably has something to do with why I couldn't get Ioba's call in earlier too. And the weather has kind of been fucking up a little bit today, depending on where you at. So that may have something to do with it too. But if you do want to call in, damn, I didn't realize it's 8:00 already. The number is 216, and I'm waiting for it. It's scrolling across the top of the screen, 539-0659. And you know what I'm realizing is that nobody reads the scrolls across the top of the screen. Like, I be going through all of this trying to make sure that it's accurate, and nobody pays attention to it. I feel bad. Right. I'd be like, damn, man. Because somebody would be like, well, is the show on now? And I'd be like, well, it says live going right across the top of the screen. like, or you could just push the link, but how we doing now, Carmen? Are we good?
I think so. Can you hear me now?
Well, hearing you wasn't a problem. We hearing two of you.
Oh, that's my twin. I'm kidding. I don't know.
I mean, you know what? Yeah, that is. Why have a side piece? Just stay single and play the field. I mean, well,
that's what I'm thinking. Amen.
You may want to be the side piece. There are some people that are in favor of being the side piece.
Absolutely.
And the thing is, I don't like the justification.
We would have one of those people on the line today at every show. that would be the plug in the building. The CEO of Side Nigga University. So that is his thing right there. Shout out to Adrian. And so far, let me see. What did we talk about? We talked about relationships a little bit. We talked about periods.
We talked about medicine and socialization.
We did talk about that too. I forgot about that. And that's good.
We talked about T.I.
That's still some creepy shit, man. I don't. Oh man, I just can't get over that one. That's some fucking. That's just weird, man. I ain't dying over no D.I. I'm not gonna say the whole word because children may be listening. But Carmen said that's why she ain't gonna be no side piece because she don't want to die over, some sex, and that's understandable. That is.
I mean, yeah. I mean, hey, you get it. I get it.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not for everybody. It's it's just for certain people who on the same wavelength. That's all.
Yeah, it's a rare breed. So normal folks is not really into side piecing, but that rare those elites of society who are side pieces.
I used to, be like that. I'm not, I'm not like that anymore.
You're a reformed side piecer, okay?
Yeah, right. I'm a reformed side
piece.
Yeah.
Anyway, Adrienne, if you want to call up, the number is 216-539-0659. We want to hear from as many queens as possible. If you can get through, we tried earlier, it didn't work. How do men feel about breastfeeding in public? Why does it bother them? Okay.
All right. It only bothers me if you got ugly titties. Like,
you know what? Shut up.
I'm just saying.
Define an ugly titty. Define
that. Okay. All right. Like super long nipples. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hate your life. I hate it.
Big.
but if they're breastfeeding, the nipples may actually be long. Their nipples may be longer than under normal circumstances.
That's true. That's true as well.
He's talking about like when it's about the size of a safety pin long.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's not normal though. That's like a cow nipple.
Just like super big areola and shit. Like that shit's not cool. Just an ugly titty. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like a kind of like somewhat you got to tie it. It's got like a real slow leak. You know what I'm saying? The titty be like wrinkly at the top and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's an ugly titty.
If the woman is covered up, I don't see a problem with it. But I personally would not want to see your breast in public. And the pushback on that is that, well, that's natural. And my response would be, so is taking a shit. I need to take a shit to exist. If I can no longer take a shit and they can't adequately eliminate that waste, at some point I will die from not being able to eliminate that waste. So yes, It is natural. Is that somebody's going to kill me over that, but it is what it is. And And I'm sexist in some ways, and this would be one of those ways, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, like, and some of the like it's some women that it seems like a beautiful thing. They just look classy doing it. It doesn't bother me. It's other women, and it's like, look, I got a baby, and they hungry, and I'm whipping this titty out, and you should be happy I'm feeding this baby. And no, I don't want to see your titty. I just don't.
Well, the women that do that, I think, are the so-called feminists that are like pushing this agenda. You know, well, we should be able to do this in public, as you said, because it's natural. I myself have breastfed 6 children, and I've done this in public, but I always covered myself up. And people knew I was nursing my child, so it didn't freaking bother me. I didn't have to show my entire breast to prove a point that I'm feeding my child, you know, because that's what it comes down to, trying to prove a point and impose a narrative on society of what is acceptable versus what is not. So they take the naturalness, the bondingness, and the closeness of nursing and having that bond with the child and turning it into something that becomes a social narrative. And in some cases, they try to twist it where anybody that says they don't like, you know, a woman breastfeeding in public with her breast out obviously is a pervert that's always thinking about something sexual. No, it could be perfectly, you know, innocent and logical that a man does not want to see a woman's breast while she's freaking nursing. I mean, do you have to see the whole breast, you know? No, you don't. You can, you know, discreetly feed your child in public without having to have, you know, to take your bra off and throw it across the field. You don't have to do that.
Now, what I'm not going to do is have a conversation with you while you breastfeed. Just not. Don't make that attempt.
I mean,
yeah, you know, like,
you can't look me in the eyes while I breastfeed with the video.
No, that's just.
and again,
I'm sorry, I'm uncomfortable at that point. I am.
Okay, and see, that's the thing. Again, when you look at why this is becoming such a stink, you know, it is not a question of quote unquote women's rights, as it is they're trying to impose the uncomfortableness onto people, you know, and making you think that you have to accept it, and you don't have to. And I'm a woman saying this, so.
You know what? And I do feel bad saying that. I'm not even gonna lie. Like.
But you shouldn't.
It is a part of the journey through life, from just a human perspective, and as a community and a society at large, we've done a poor job of teaching us to appreciate that from a young age. Because growing up, little boy is supposed to turn away if, you know, girl ain't got her shirt off. You know, she got her shirt off and you ate, turn away. Ew, that's gross. You know, until you learn, okay, well, you become an adult, blase split. Anyway, long story. But the way that we teach that visual should be encouraged, I think, a little bit more earlier on, and to kind of eliminate some of those just the negative connotation. But yeah, it's all about, you know, with everything else, presentation. You know,
exactly.
Yeah, you know,
exactly.
If you got,
that's why I agree with you.
Yeah.
That there's some things, as you pointed it out actually earlier, Joseph, when you were saying about when we were talking about the pads and the tampon piece, that there are certain standards and certain expectations and limits that you have upon the female, where you're like, okay, I'm absolutely, for whatever reason, absolutely not going to have this as a part of my norm. Like you said, I'm not going to sit up there and freaking go get tampons and pads for you because that makes me feel uncomfortable, or I'm not going to go with you to pick out some drawers. That makes me uncomfortable with you. Same instance with breastfeeding. You know, like you said, are you going to go sit on a park bench and here comes a woman with her baby and she whips out her breast and starts, you know, nursing her baby, and you're just supposed to sit there like, oh, that's natural. Okay, it's natural, but I don't want to see that.
I'll be like that SpongeBob meme. I'm all right. I'm out. with the quickness.
Yeah, that could be flipped as some type of sexual harassment.
Right. And
really?
That's another thing. We can't be dealing with that. Yes.
Wait a minute. What part could be flipped as the sexual harassment? That I don't want to see it, or that she did it?
That she did it.
that you're around it. Yeah, she did it, and you're around it.
No, that couldn't be no
If
sexual
you
harassment.
stare long enough, then a woman can misconstrue you staring at her or even looking her way as some type of indirect harassment. So
Absolutely.
expect that to
Now,
come down the pipe.
a woman, a woman could sit down next to you, pull her titty out, start breastfeeding, and say you made her uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. And I'm reading what Carmen said.
See how
Her cousin was breastfeeding her baby at a birthday party, and just pulled her titty out with no cover and made the whole party uncomfortable. And she got mad at them, talking about it was natural and to get over it. Like, and to me, that right there is is she right as far as it being natural? Yes. But you are wrong about wanting to dictate to other people how they perceive it. And you are not
Right.
helping with their perception of that by the way you're going about it. You know, you could teach them something if you approached it differently.
Exactly.
You know,
Not, you gotta accept it because this is what I'm doing, and if you don't like it, get over it.
Exactly.
That comes off as offensive.
exactly.
So no.
Yeah. And people respond in kind. They get defensive. They get mad at you. Like, what the fuck? You pulled a titty out. I'm not supposed to be happy about that.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. Which brings me to this. I don't know if you saw this online, y'all, but have you seen the article where, speaking of the paths and the acceptance and imposition or whatever, but there was an article, I think it was in the Huffington Post, about how Always ended up kowtowing to a transsexual about how to remove the female icon off of their packaging.
Yeah, we talked.
Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah, we talked about that on the water cooler a couple of times ago. That's just disgusting. It's just weird, man. The fact.
I mean, it's stupid just for a nigga who to tuck his nuts to make him feel good. Like, nah, bro.
I mean, to literally take that off and for the company to kowtow, that's what bothered me. You know, we're just going to take them off all our packaging to appease this less than 1% populace of transsexuals because a woman decides she wants to be a man.
I mean, or the women of America could simply say, if you don't put that shit back on there, we not fucking with you.
Right. But women are not freaking speaking up about it, and that's why the company itself kowtows. And
women love gay men. Women love gay men. Like, let's just keep it a buck. Women fucking love gay men.
You think so?
What?
Explain that.
Women love gay men. Yo, women love gay men because they try to think like women. You know what I'm saying? Like a woman will call a man sis. You know what I'm saying? Like all types of shit, bro. Like that's the norm with that shit. Then that would be coming across as homophobic. That's what they would say.
I mean, I think the thing is that, and I get what you're saying because you will see that a lot of women, they'll have a gay friend. And what it is they got a man that acts like them, that doesn't want anything sexually from them.
Mm-hmm.
So that may be, I guess, I don't know.
So how do you explain the reverse though? Because that's what the argument is about. You know, that transsexuals that are women who are trying to be men are making the argument that emblem should not be on the packaging. So what happens when the role is reversed? I mean, are there men that want women that act like men? I mean, I'm not understanding.
I'm so confused right now. I don't know. Yeah.
You said, are there men who want women who act like men?
Yeah, like what you said before in reverse. Like women like gay men because, you know, they mainly portray themselves like they're women. Is that same thing in reverse? Like, will a dude say, okay, I'm going to
like,
give her this because she look like a butch and she act like a dude and blah, blah, blah.
I personally don't know anybody like that.
I'm saying
but there do be there do be a lot of dyke bros getting smashed on though. Like that definitely happens.
Yeah, but I mean, like a true, not just a dyke, a true butch. I mean, who gets a fade better than you, who will wear, Versace and all this other stuff, trying to give the so-called image of a male. Will well, this is going to sound a little crazy, but will a alpha male want to be around a woman that tries to act like she's an alpha male?
I highly doubt it.
I personally don't think so.
I don't even think that's really a question, to be quite honest. Like, no. I just don't like. Just the alpha men generally ain't. Alpha men and alpha men would hang out, but I don't think alpha women and alpha women really are hanging out. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Because I just think that it's one-sided. Because it's like, women love gay men because gay men blah 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 blah. But you're not going to hear a man say, "I want to be around a woman that acts like a man because she acts like the characteristics of a man." I've never seen that.
I mean, well, part of masculinity is competition in some way, shape, fashion, or form. Mm-hmm. And when you are trying to play in that competition and you don't have the requirements to even enter the game, we looked at as like come on now, like that's threatening to us. Just as a man, that like we're already in competition with other dudes. We don't want to have to be in competition, and I'm just saying, like right or wrong, that's just how dudes will look at it. Like we don't need the extra competition from a woman trying to be us. So.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I just find it very interesting, just this whole dynamic that has been happening, I'll say, for the past 12 years. I mean, the rise of, this imposition of acceptance. Well, you have to accept this because of this. Like you said, breastfeeding in public, if we don't like it, too bad. If a guy decides he wants to dress up and, be a woman and carry himself like a woman, who are we to question him? You see what I'm saying? We live in a society where, to be quite honest with you, in some cases it's very blasphemous. We're just supposed to accept because it is. Because you're able to do something doesn't necessarily mean it's right or sound.
I mean, but if you think about it though, to say that it's blasphemous is actually doing the exact same thing that the other side is doing. You are telling them that whatever behavior that you have is so extreme that I should not have to deal with it. And you don't want the smaller population to be able to dictate to you what you have to deal with. But you're saying the same thing. If it's blasphemous, you've already defined for them what's acceptable and what's not. And they're telling you on the flip side, no, this is what's going to be acceptable and what's not. It's the same shit.
Well, I mean, it goes back and forth, because if we're saying honestly that we can't tell people or we can't guide people in a certain direction as far as behavior, especially socially, we'll be all over the place. I mean, honestly,
we're already there. And I got this really quick clip. It's about 15 seconds. But I seen this spot. I forget what the talk show host name is. It's on Comedy Central. But it's a really quick clip, and I thought it was just so fucked up of what this lady thought about black men.
I feel like quality, and I have standards. People want to say that I'm picky, but I have standards. And I think and I think there's nothing wrong with that. But I think finding a quality black man is like finding a $100 bill on the sidewalk in Midtown Manhattan. I feel like.
She said she thinks finding a quality black man is the equivalent of finding $100 bill on the sidewalk in Manhattan. That's some hurtful shit, man. That really is. You know. The, yeah, that's why she's single and bitter. But like that's becoming it's becoming more and more acceptable is to really just dump on us, and I don't understand why that's becoming like a more acceptable thing amongst our sisters. Like why is that becoming?
Because they don't have to, because it's easier to do that than deal with their bullshit.
I mean,
That's just some real shit. It's easier to say that than be like, yeah, I know I got a fucked up ass attitude, you know what I'm saying? And I be trying to emasculate the nigga, you know what I mean? And I talk to the nigga like shit for real, don't apologize for it. And, you know, and I'm really fucking crazy and I won't go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this be all the shit they be knowing about themselves. And they won't deal with that, but they'll be quick to say you ain't shit.
Well, you know what? I first of all, I don't think that there's like this huge percentage of black women that think that way of black men.
Mm-hmm.
I think they think a very small percentage, and no, there's a very small percentage of bitter women that actually are. Let's be honest with ourselves. Some small populace are literal man haters. You know, that push the reflection of what they think of themselves onto those men. Now, I think that the vast majority of black women, I would say 70-30,
mm-hmm.
love their black men to the hilt. And there are some that love them so much they don't care if they got to go through hell and high water with them. They are not going to cross over at all. When you hear like that 1 or 2% of black women that talk about how black men ain't shit and, you know, they don't do nothing for nobody, that's because that's something that they went through personally and they're exacerbating it like it's all of them. No, it's not.
Let me ask you this though.
That woman said,
is that a reputation that black men have earned?
You know what? When you ask that question, it's a very loaded question because you don't want to give a definitive answer because there's a gray area and there is, I hate to say it, but there is a justification behind it.
That's
okay?
right.
It's not a thing where they're just dogs and that's just what they are. No. That's not that at all. Like I said, and I know that it sounds like a broken record, but you have to look at the social perspective, the historical perspective, the psychological perspective of the development of what's been going on through generations. So with that being said, you can't give a definitive answer for that.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
I mean, but at some point we got to give a definitive answer if we want to change it.
Nah, I think it's more. I think it's pushed socially. I think that narrative is pushed socially via music and TV and entertainment and whatnot. At the same time, I think a lot of our women buy into it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And again, you got to look at.
We
gotta look at it.
We got to take some ownership too, though. As men, if we want it, we got to give more irrefutable proof of the opposite that we ain't on that shit. You know what I'm saying? And
but we do though, but it's never acknowledged though, Joseph. We do. 80% of black men in the United States alone are full-blown married, not common law, not cohabitating, not a baby daddy, actual husband. Okay, 80%. Okay, but you'll never see that because, like Jerome said, on media, we're always seeing the single mom, the angry black superwoman. We're seeing the black man that's always in jail, or he is the destitute father that deserted his family. That's what we see, but that is not what is. So what has to happen is like you said, the ones that are doing what they're supposed to do have to be able to come together, and I don't know how it can be done, but come together and go after those that are not being responsible, even if they have to have that sit down and talk with them, have an empowerment and supportive group for those type of men to take responsibility, ownership, and accountability for what they do or what they don't do. That's what has to happen. Otherwise, it's going to continue on with this separatist, I got mine, now you got to get yours mentality, and this will continue on. But being the person that is a certified social scientist, especially in the area of Black people, I can tell you that the narrative that is presented to us is not genuine, it's not sound, and it's not fact.
I mean, true, the narrative, it is blown out of proportion. But like, it ain't no narrative when we calling our women bitches and hoes. It ain't no narrative when we, are looking at them as objects. That's happening, and we can't deny that. Like how like, as men, we got to take some ownership of the way that we are viewing not just not our daughters, but somebody else's daughters, and the way that we are hypersexualizing them. It's a two-way street, and
it is.
We all got to take some ownership to improve the quality of life for our sisters in our community. Well,
first of all, we have to come together as a community. I think we have gotten lost in the old adage of, it takes a village to raise a child, because we basically don't have a village. Like I said in previous times, I think about 6 or 7 months ago, about how the community has dissipated, and now there is this overwhelming hyper fear of losing things that we have acquired, for whatever reason. So-and-so lives next door. I mean, these days, we can't even ask for a cup of sugar without somebody getting an attitude.
Man.
If we see somebody's little boy acting up, we better not walk up on Jerome and say anything to him, because Jerome's mom is going to come out with her 5 sisters and 6 cousins to jump me, because I'm trying to prevent this boy from hurting himself or other people. Once we get away from all of that and we start trusting each other and loving each other and caring for our community, this is what's going to continue happening. Because
Hold on
when
one
the
second,
men are
Queen.
calling women bitches.
Hopefully I added this call to the conversation. I may have. Say they join. What's good, fam? You there?
Yeah, I'm in.
No, did you call back?
Yeah, I had to call back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But what I was saying was, when you're seeing men saying, women are bitches and hoes and this and that, you have to look at where it's coming from. What is the foundation? They didn't wake up one day and say, hey, all women are bitches and hoes. It had to come from somewhere. You see what I mean?
But
So
what if you did some? What if you did some whole shit? Like, you can't say all. How you want to say all women? Well, you did. You had a whole moment. You did some whole shit. Like, it is what it is.
It is. It is. But does that make it the overall narrative though?
I mean, but let's be honest. Like, come on, man. It's generally not specified to one person. It's a general statement. Like, them bitches over there or them hoes over there.
Right.
Let's be honest about it, bro. But yes, you right though. Like, there are some times where it is appropriate. The behavior has dictated that would be a justified statement.
Exactly. But see, those are in instances. We're not talking about the overall, though. You know what I mean? If it's overall, then no, you should not generally disrespect women, just like women shouldn't generally disrespect men.
Yeah.
But if we're pushing, this so-called newfound freedom and feminism, and in some cases with men masculinity, to try to push forward the the patriarchal narrative, then you're going to go back and forth constantly. You know what I'm saying? And it goes back to what you do in your home. If a boy is seeing that a man is disrespecting a woman in his home, then he's going to internalize that and in turn act on it. Same with women. If a girl is seeing, you know, their mom disrespecting their dad and cussing them out, beating them up, then she's going to internalize that and think she should treat whoever it is the way that she watched it, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Because children are sponges. You know what I'm saying? They only can go by what they see and what a person does. So, again, that's why I say we have to figure out where this is coming from, why it's happening, and how we can change it. You know what I mean?
I mean, shit. We already know where this shit came from. I mean, like the historical aspect of where it came from. Like that's just indisputable. You know, like we already know. And yes, definitely, Carmen. Black women are beautiful. And yeah, they do want y'all lips, hips, hair, swag, body, the whole nine. Yes, you are absolutely right. Like the most duplicated, most emulated is the black woman. Like make no mistake about that.
Right.
You know. And Imani, if you want to call up, it's 216-539-0659. For some reason, like the text at the top just like extra small today. I'm not sure what's up with that. But yeah, like at some point we got to say, okay, like we already know how we, you know, why it is what it is. How do we change it so that we make it what it should be? And that's always my thing about it. And I think shows like this and other shows that I've seen where we can come together and kind of just listen to each other. And that's the most important part. That's where it starts. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some shit I don't be knowing. You know, nobody knows everything. You know, and as long as we can not be mad at each other and, you know, you ain't shit, I hate your ass, motherfucker, you know, for having a difference of opinion, and we'll be good. You know? Yeah, we definitely got to break these generational curses, man. That shit's... And hold on one second. Let's see if we was able to add. And I gotta add the number so quick that I can't. Man, my Skype is just.
There you go, Jerome.
What's good, fam? You there? No, that ain't me. Like for whatever reason, like these other numbers, I'm doing exactly the same thing. Like when Rome call or when you call. So it ain't me with the technology. It's Skype with the fuck upology.
Is that even a word?
I'm not sure, but it will be tomorrow.
Oh.
We make up words here.
Right. Hey, we got the E40 catalog going on over here. Oh, and do me a favor, Queens, and yeah, whoever that 5208 number is, do me one more favor and try to call back for me, and hopefully I can not you, Queen. I'm talking about this 5208 number that called. But if you have children, leave some advice to some new mothers, you know, just in the comments, you know, or if you want to call up. But if you happen to listen to it, you know, in a week or a month, still leave a comment. You know, let's share some of that wisdom to the sisters coming behind you, you know. So and not just about that, you know, like if you just got some real good just woman to woman advice, post it on here, you know. So some sister along the line, whether this show is posted up for the next million years or not, you know, some sister might get something out of it. So, you know, we gotta stop dying with the wisdom. Stop hoarding that shit. Anyway, damn, this really bothering me. See, so now it's gonna make me have to go back to Blog Talk with the ladies' night.
Oh Lord.
Well, if I can't take if the calls won't come in, and it's like,
I like your other number. Everybody was able to call in on that other number.
That would be the Blog Talk. But I see, and I'm just trying to get away from the Blog Talk, and it is just not working. all the time, consistently all the time. Like generally speaking, like like this just been a bad day. I'm not even gonna front. Like recently we've been kind of lit, so I can't, and I don't think I ain't got no I would call y'all back, but that's just like 23 cents a minute. I ain't got 23 cents a minute. I was trying. I was looking. I'm not even gonna front. And they like 23 cents a minute. Like, oh boy, that's legit. That's money. I mean, not non-black women do what they are supposed to do is from an economical standpoint. Black women are not doing what they are supposed to do with respect to where they spend their money, especially on things that are not necessities, quote unquote. Such as your hair, your makeup, things of that nature.
Your ass, flat tummy tea, all that shit.
I'm just saying, we got to do a better job of because you can't complain about Asian women making all the money off of weaves if you only go into Asian women.
I want to know what's the eyelash budget for black women now.
I can answer that for you. The range is anywhere between $20 and $160.
$160 for what?
Lashes.
Eyelashes?
Get the fuck out.
Eyelashes.
What are you doing? Like, what possibly are they doing to an eyelash that costs $160? And how often do you need to do this?
Well, I can pretty much tell you, my oldest daughter, who is in California right now, she gets her lashes done every week, and she spends anywhere between $55 to $100 on her lashes.
That is crazy.
So she's spending at least $200 a month on eyelashes?
At least. Because when you look at it, and this is going to be like a weird mad science, but hear me out, because I myself do not do this because I feel like it's retarded. But like, they literally look at the difference between a bundle versus individuals, and individuals are more expensive because it takes more time to put each individual lash on. Then it's the type of lash. Is it 100% human? Is it yaki? Is it this? Is it that?
Wait a minute. So you walking around with like some dead person's eyelashes on you?
I mean, I personally don't do it, but yeah, those that wear them do. Because my two older daughters do it. My middle one doesn't do it as much as my oldest because obviously her finances won't allow it. But at the time that she does them, yeah.
Somebody's ass hair. They put together and put themselves
right now.
Oh, that's so disgusting.
But that's what they do, though. And if you look at them, you know how big they are and how long they are. It's like, okay. I mean, honestly, everybody at the shop laughed at me because one day my daughter went with me and she was like, Mom, you need to get your lashes done. I was like, I'm not getting my damn lashes done. That's retarded. She was like, no, because you don't hardly have any eyelashes. And I will be fine with my bald eyes. Leave me alone. I don't like nobody messing with my eyes. So she's all like, well, just get it this one time. Please, please, please. I'll take some. Please, please, please. So after about 20 minutes, I broke it. I said, okay, I'll get them. When I tell you, they did not last 15 minutes on my eyeballs because I'm constantly blinking. They're poking me in the eye because they're so long. And I'm not used to them. I was like, man, fuck this shit. I just took them off my eyeballs and never did it since.
See?
I was like, oh, no, this is unacceptable. How do you do this? How? They walk around with eyelash glue in their pocket.
Oh.
So if it comes loose, they just glue it back on their eye.
Are you serious?
That's disturbing.
I am so serious. I am. And I know a lady who had her eyebrows put on that way also.
That's disturbing.
That is scary. That is freaking nuts.
I mean, what's the rationale for them though?
And what's up with bitches' eyebrows too? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's an eyebrow shortage or something like going on out here? Like, is this some type of like female disease that like only certain type of women get, where like y'all eyebrows just disappear and y'all gotta like draw them back on and shit? Like, I don't understand.
I mean, it goes back to assimilating and self-hatred in a lot of cases. You know, it's like, okay, well, you know, I want to look like this because I want to look more presentable and I want to look, you know, the part. You know what I mean?
Okay, but look like what? No. Nobody is walking around with invisible eyebrows.
With butterfly eyelashes.
Look like powder. You remember the movie Powder?
Oh, that's bad, bro.
Well, Powder didn't have any eyebrows, bro.
Right.
I'm going the other way where people are like drawing them, tattooing them, actually putting, you know, actual hairs where the eyebrow hair is supposed to be at because they want it to be thicker, they want it to be shaped a certain way because they had the Cleopatra eyebrows. You remember those? Those are the ones that were so long and they were coming across the crease in your eye by your temple.
That shit's gotta hurt. Getting your eyebrows waxed. No, getting them waxed. That shit sounds fucking painful.
It is.
Like the shit that y'all go through as far as like the whole wax situation. Like that shit's first off, whoever came up with that shit, some type of cult member. But secondly, like I don't understand like why y'all go through the excessive pain that you do in the name of quote unquote beauty. Well, no, it shouldn't.
Well, again, it goes back to a person's self-esteem and them trying to assimilate to what beauty is. You know, there was this one girl that I actually knew that grew up with my kid. She actually hated her body because she felt like she was too skinny to be a black girl.
Mm.
So when she got of age, she found someone to give her butt injections.
Ooh.
So because she felt like, you know, the ideal black woman is a woman that is thick.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And I'll be the first one to tell you to keep it a fact. I was one of those women when I was younger because I was always slim, I was always tall, and I was always athletically built. So it was like, okay, well, you know, look at this guy really likes this girl over here because she got the thighs, she got the hips, she got the butt, she got the chest. And here I am looking like I'm about to kick your ass, blinking at you. So how am I supposed to be the dude? You know what I'm saying? If I'm looking like I'm going to fuck you up in the alley. So, I mean, I never did what these girls today do. But for a very long time, I felt like I wasn't the ideal black woman because of how the so-called average black woman physically appears.
Mm.
And it's the same as it's here. You know, in the 90s, it was a thing where, you know, light skin, long hair, you know, a nice shape, that was in. So dark women were like, oh, well, how come I can't be like so-and-so over here? You see what I'm saying? So it all is relative.
With all that being said, did that shit make you cut off your eyebrows?
Hell no. I ain't had nothing to cut in the first place.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
I mean,
you hear how insane they are? You hear this?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's called body dysphoric disorder. There's an actual disorder in the DSM-5. Joseph, you know this. If you don't, you know, you can look it up. Body dysphoric disorder, where a person literally hates how their body looks, you know, and they'll do whatever it takes to change it. You know, I mean, like I said, the butt injections are in now because they're seeing celebrities do it. Little Kim, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and whomever else is doing it no sooner than they get famous, because they think that is what's alluring to black men, you know, and I've heard black men say, well, I ain't gonna go with no chick that look like a chicken stick. I'd rather go with a thicky thick. And it's like,
I mean, but we cannot act like they are not doing that because there is not a segment of the population that wants that. Like, let's be honest.
Jerome yourself, man. You know it's true. That's why he laughing.
I'm just saying. Hey, Lil Kim does look a little bit like Sammy Sosa now, but
Lil Kim
I,
is a
I,
whole Muppet, nigga.
she really like I would agree with Lotus on definitely with Lil Kim. Like she really got a lot of shit going on. It just she spent her money on the wrong shit. It wasn't the physical she needed to try to fix, you know.
Exactly.
But let's not act like there isn't a market. They ain't just going out here and getting shit pumped into their butt to give them bigger asses for out of in a vacuum. They doing it because
and yo, women be so OD'ing with the fake asses, bro. It's bad.
It is, but at the same time, they doing it because men want bigger asses.
Yeah, but see, like it don't feel right. You know what I'm saying? Like you can tell. Like I've held a fake ass. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
so
I ain't real shit. Real shit.
So did you say anything about it? Did you ask?
yeah, did you say anything? I gotta hear this.
I ain't have to ask. I already knew.
But did you say anything? You didn't. You like, wow, is this like how long have you had to ask? Nothing.
Nope.
No way, Joe. That's something you would do.
It is. Like I need to know. Like
You came into the did you get the layaway?
I got an 09 with 50,000 miles on it and shit. Like I'm in good condition too. I got a veterans discount.
I'm just saying. Yes, I would. I am an inquisitive individual. So yes, I would have some questions. I'm just saying I would.
I didn't say anything about it, but like the ass was definitely fake, and like you could just feel it, bro. It don't move right. You know what I mean?
So did that stop the situation? Was that it? You was gone? Or?
Oh nah, I definitely smashed. You know what I'm saying? I just knew the ass was saying like the shit. It looked good.
Did when you slapped her ass, did it like ricochet back to your face? I mean, what happened?
It just don't move right.
Did your hand sink? Oh wow. Oh,
nah,
wow.
it just don't move right. It's not like fluid motion.
And so does that make you look at her differently as a woman though?
Yes. For me,
in a bad way?
It depends. It's like, all right, so like if it's strictly about the ass, it's like, all right, the ass is cool or whatever. But then like you kind of lose points because it's like you bought an ass. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like it'd be different. Like you earned it. Like you earned your ass. It was just given to you. You just got great ass. That's different. But like,
do you hear this, Joseph? How do you earn
it's
ass?
it's like
I think
it's like
you kind of
comparing
can.
like, it's like oodles and noodles compared to like fresh made spaghetti or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't compare the two. There's no comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, fake ass.
Know why, though. You know why it's done though. You know. Because there are some men who don't.
Because women are insane. Because women are insane. Yes.
I mean, but that's unfair to put all that is unfair to put all of that on women and women alone.
Exactly.
Like women are like the women that are doing this aren't doing this to just because they want a bigger ass. They're doing it to attract more men. Let's be honest about that.
They're doing it because it's a societal norm. Because again, like I told you, when I was younger, I was told by quite a few black men that I was cool to be around them and kick it with them and this, that, and the third. But as far as like what my bodily dimension was, it was like, oh, well, she's too slim, she's too skinny, she's too muscular, blase, splee, you know. And I couldn't see myself with somebody like that versus someone who, you know.
So you was the homie, basically.
Yeah, you was the homie.
Right, exactly. That's what I was. I was the homie. But the one that you can, you know, take home to mom and all this other stuff, you know, it was the girl. It wasn't the girl that was 5'10", athletically built. It was the girl that was 5'5", 5'4", that was built like an hourglass, you know, and that's what that was. You know.
See,
So
that was before you was taking birth control. Like you wasn't in high school on depot or nothing. Like that's what it was.
no, bro. Because when I was on depot, pills, shots, implants, and I have not lost anything, and I haven't gained anything either. And I've had 6 children, so I should have had some thickness somewhere. Only thing that's thick on this skinny ass is my feet. That's the only thing that's thick.
Gosh, damn.
So I'm just like, no. I mean, I had 6 children, and it looked like I had none. I know a chick that had 1 child. She looked like she had 20. So, you know, that's just how that rolls. But what I'm talking about with self-esteem, though, however, like I said, in the climate of race and women, you know, just like with white women, you know, white women, the way they're portrayed is that they're petite or they're slim, you know, and if they are athletic, they're quote unquote soft looking. So
white women got
know,
ass now though.
Yeah, and you know why that is.
Yeah, because they go to the gym.
They go to the doctor, bro. Stop it.
Nigga, they go to the gym, yo.
They go to the doctor and then go to the gym. We ain't gonna know.
That's right. Don't even try to act like all of a sudden, you know, athletes from the valley that went to Planet Fitness and came out looking like Serena. Wrong.
I seen some white women build their ass from scratch, like on some real shit.
Bisquick. Come on now.
And hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can actually take a call. I tried whoever that was, 91 something. Hello?
We're still here.
Hey, we done had several callers tonight. Shout out to you for making that attempt. And I have tried diligently to get every person on the line, and for whatever reason, Skype has apparently said, "Well, Rome and Lotus, y'all it." And shout out to Larisha on YouTube. That's dope. You know, a couple of let me try again. And you know what? Maybe I should have read that little box. Because it was something in that little box. It looked different. And I jumped the gun. I was trying to just hurry up and try to get the call in. Like, oh, yeah, maybe it'll work. I know a couple of dudes who had pec implants. Like, that's...
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, what type of circle are you in where you know a couple of dudes that have gotten pec implants?
You know what,
that's
no judgment.
Disturbing.
No judgment.
It's definitely judgment. Like it's like dudes who get calf implants. Like, what is wrong with you?
I have been in surgeries where men have had penis elongation. So there's that.
I mean,
how can you elongate something that you claim God gave you? What are you going to do? Put extra saran wrap and elongate? I don't understand it myself, but
wow.
They paid $20,000 to have that done.
I mean, if you look at it, it's no different than a woman getting ass injections. Now
no, it's
you
not.
won't.
And then you have
Now
to
women won't clown. Women won't clown a woman who get ass shots, but you'll clown a dude who got his jank. You know what I mean? Like tightened up or whatever.
Well, women will clown other women. I've heard it myself in the hospital. A woman got clowned because she had got the surgery to get her the walls of her vagina made tighter, and she was under 30. And we had another girl who wanted a vaginal rejuvenation, and she was 52.
Oh,
They clown each other. It's all bad. Oh my God.
So there's a rejuvenation that you can purchase.
Yes, it is. For the last vaginal rejuvenation we did was 6 months ago, and that was $23,000.
So like, does it bounce? Like, did they give you like a time frame? Like it bounced back to 25, or does it bounce back to 18? Like what do they tell you?
You got 100,000 mile warranty. Do you hear
These
this shit?
conversations. Oh my God! Now, when I was working in reconstruction, that's we had the consults, and we have, yes, Jerome, get ready to laugh at this. We had the vaginal rejuvenations that last 5, 7, and 10 years.
Do you hear the price tag that they put on pussy, bro? Like,
I mean, but no, wait a minute, hold on. You said it costs $23,000. So, and if it lasts 10 years, that's $2,000 a year for you to have like optimal walls. That's like
to get the same vagina you've been getting all the same time.
No,
like
it's not the same. It's not the same.
It is the same. It got a tune up.
It's like no, it's more than a tune up. It's like say you find an old ass what was that car in Gone in 60 Seconds? Eleanor. Say you find one in a garage that's been sitting there since the 60s, all rusted out. You know, you take it to the place and get that shit all shine. You know, they had a car for a year. Come back and it's like it just came off the showroom floor. It's brand new. Same principle. You know, it's like you still
all that money for the same box, bro. It's like you took your car and get a paint job,
bruh.
You know what I mean?
You are the same dude that's advocating for having a plastic doll. Like, how are you not?
It's not plastic. It's not a doll. All right. I didn't advocate for it. I'm
sorry, the action figure, man. But I'm saying, you like how could you not like be on like
$23,000 for the same thing?
Yes.
Like that shit better it better listen, if I pay $23,000 for a vaginal rejuvenation, like it better squirt on command. They better do everything I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't come with like new accessories, like no new tricks, no nothing. You getting the same shit.
It is not the same, though. It is.
It is.
No, it's not.
Well, let me tell you how it's different, Jerome. Now, when you're getting a vaginal rejuvenation, it is, as Joseph has said, it is not the same because the walls wear, especially depending on how often the woman is engaged in sexual action and depending on how many children the person has, you know, just overall maintenance.
And how many niggas
that's what.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly. So if you're going in and if I can use a large speculum on a woman doing a gynecological and that sucker can fall in there, then yeah, you need a vaginal rejuvenation.
Ooh.
You know, that's usually the women that get them. When I can put a large speculum in and I don't have to split nothing, I don't have to lubricate nothing, it just falls in.
Oh.
I've had that.
Oh.
So it's like, okay, well, and the
big
women go
ass
through the console. It's not even that. It's a hole. It is, you know, the dude. It is a freaking black hole, dude. It is like another galaxy. I mean, I don't even have to use my eye lens to go in it. Just look with the naked eye. Oh, I can see your stomach. No, I mean, come on.
Oh,
that's why it costs so much.
Damn.
Because you don't have that many women falling in there like that, but they do come. You know, so it's like.
It's a lot of women out here lying on their body count, and I'm pretty sure there's a whole lot of women out here lying on their body count.
Hey, Carbon say wrong like hoes with bruises and cigarette burns.
Now, one thing Jerome is right about, there are some women that do lie about their body count, but one thing is for certain. If a woman goes into a really good professional gynecologist, we can pretty much tell what the body count is based on what we find. So when a girl, for example, I had a girl 3 months ago that claimed she only had 3 dudes in her life, and she was 24. But when we did the exam, trust and believe it was more than 3.
That's a pussy timing belt.
I need to throw this phone.
I'm saying, but that's why that $23,000 is actually is a pretty decent investment. I'm just saying.
It's crazy.
$23,000, yes. No, it's not because.
But that chick that you talking about, that's not just from being sexually active. Something was wrong with her. If you can see all that. Hey, but I ain't realize it, man. We ain't got but 5 minutes left to go.
Wow. just because we've been in here talking about nice stuff and also clowning Jerome.
Yeah. Hey, 23,000. That ain't bad, bro. Shit.
Shit,
back
man. You know what I do for $23,000?
Take it back to 1999.
What you think gonna happen when you pay for your old lady to get a whole new pussy, and she gonna want that shit wore out again, bro? Like, and you just gonna be old. Like, she gonna get a side nigga.
No.
That's what's gonna happen.
If you have a 10-year warranty, Jerome, come on now.
Yeah, I know.
Years, dude. Come on. I mean,
that's a legitimate concern, to be quite honest. I have to agree with you on that one. That is a legitimate concern.
How?
You got to think about like when you getting it done.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like say you're 60 and she's 50 and she gets it done.
Okay.
It's definitely gonna get a side
nigga. Yeah. She actually might not be getting that. Actually, she may be paying for it out of pocket. And she ain't getting that. She's not getting that for you.
She gonna pull it out her thrift savings account.
Exactly.
I'm about to throw this.
Yeah. She be putting away the 25 cents every time for years.
Real shit.
Exactly. You know. But so yeah, that would kind of it would depend on like where they at in life.
I refurbish pussy.
It's not. I mean, in the pantheon of things that if you're going to get cosmetic surgery, and I would think that would probably be, barring some really like freakish nose or something like, but if you're going to do something, start there. That's a good starting point. Getting it tightened up. Yes.
That's like a whole makeover package. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can got smashed on by mad niggas, got dogged out, walls all broke down. Like, you can just pay money and get a whole new pussy and start from scratch. Like,
yes, you can.
Like, you got a brand new transmission. Like, you got a whole new engine. Like, this shit is crazy, bro.
I mean, you can use Ben Wa balls to keep your pussy tight. What is Ben Wa balls?
Oh, those are the little. They look kind of like pearls, kind of.
Yoni balls.
And you do keep. Stop it. They're kind of like It's kind of like It's not quite as big as a golf ball, but it's almost like when you do Kegel exercises and that ball is there. It strengthens the vaginal muscle, and it's way cheaper than $23,000. So.
Wow. So y'all got like vaginal weights.
They got it's refurbished pussy, bro. They got.
I was unaware that there were so many different ways that it could be refurbished.
You can go to CVS and you'll see it all. Go into their family planning section and see the part where it's locked up. You'll see it all.
I mean, well, that's not something that I just was, randomly be like, yeah, I'm in CVS. Let me check that shit out.
It's
under
the extent.
Going to CVS. Where y'all refurbished pussy section at?
All right. I got a little wall situation at the house.
Yeah.
Build
the pussy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh god.
That just seems like a whole lot of work. 30 minutes every day.
Mhm.
Yeah. See, you can avoid that shit. Go ahead and spend that money. 23 stacks. And you ain't got to do all that shit.
Now, Jerome.
Get the quick fix.
Jerome, you ask yourself this question. Which would you rather pay for? $23,000 for a vaginal rejuvenation, or would you pay $34,000 for breast reconstruction?
I'm not that much of a titty man for real. You know what I'm saying? So like titties is fun for like 45 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then after that, like,
okay, are you an ass man? Are you an ass man?
Yeah, I'm more of an ass man.
Okay, so if you're an ass man, a butt injection should be about, well, it's not as expensive as a vaginal rejuvenation. Okay, an actual legal butt injection, depending on the size of the butt, could be anywhere between $6,000 and $13,000. So would you rather have that, or would you rather have the $23,000 vaginal rejuvenation?
Like, what's the difference in price though? Is the 13,000 like for both cheeks, or is it like
no, it's for both cheeks. You nut.
I'm just saying. Like, is it a different texture? I need to know.
I mean, some people will inject silicone. Some will inject this other thing that is similar to water, and then they use adipose from another part of the body to inject inside of the gluteus maximus.
Yo, it was one of them fake doctors putting cement in bitches' asses, yo. Like,
hey man, I feel really bad for them too, man.
Who the fuck they get?
It's not, man. Like you didn't go to the doctor to get cement put in your ass, man. You didn't.
Yeah, and there's no doctor in the back of an alley either. Like, this the fuck you get.
Now, Jerome, you got to be a little bit more sensitive, bro. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, like, with me, I always make fun of my body because that's just what I do, and it makes people laugh. I mean, can you imagine me trying to wear a pair of nice 1984 Jordache jeans, and I'm walking around here looking like pants on a hanger? I mean, no. I'm just like, okay, I want to be able to, walk down the street, and, that crease that be splitting the butt cheek, you want it to make a U shape, not an L shape. So therefore, you're going to try to figure out how you can fill in the blanks, because my ass looks like a sentence missing a couple of words. Let's fill in the blanks. So I'm going to try to see what is most economical for me, but also will make me look good. So some women, will take their life savings of maybe $2,000 and get those injections, but not know what's inside of the injection. Some will say iPad.
They just happen to go to the Dominican Republic and come back with a new ass.
Well, yeah, because in the United States, that's considered cosmetic. So there's not going to be any medical coverage that's going to cover that. You're going to have to come out of pocket. So if it's $3,000 in the United States, but it's only $600 in the Dominican Republic, if you got the money to go down there to the Dominican Republic, that's exactly where you're going to get it done at.
And that's why bitches be coming back with their ass lumpy and shit and dimples.
That is true.
Yeah,
I mean, but that could happen if you go to a reputable place. There could be some side effects.
It can.
The odds do increase if you leave the country and you paying 10 cents on the dollar for a surgery. You should be a little suspect about that. I would not encourage anybody to do that.
Me neither.
But yo, who y'all got to shout out, man? We got to get up out of here. Don't forget to like the show, man. Shout out to y'all for tuning in. Shout out to K-Mac and Larisha. That's pretty dope. And don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow, man, at 9 p.m. The water cooler. Anybody y'all got any shout outs? I learned some shit tonight, too. That was interesting.
Yeah.
I got to give shout out to Jerome. Shout out to you, Joseph. Shout out to everybody that listens. Shout out to my kids. Shout out to everybody that is just kings and queens out here.
Yeah, shout out Keys Development. Shout out 300 Gangsters. Shout out all the women with refurbished pussies. Like, that's probably on my bucket list now. I haven't had that before, and now I'm kind of interested. So follow me on IG. That's Driving for Perfection _43. And holla at us tomorrow. We got the stuff cool pop.
Hey, you dumb, bro. You dumb. And that's dope. Appreciate that, Carmen. Don't forget to check out the websites, emeraldshell.com and myskinismysin.net. Oh, and don't forget to go fuck with the family, man. LiberationMindedMedia.net. That is Black Eye Stand Radio, The Rundown with Renee, Do the Knowledge Radio, and My Skin is My Sin. Yeah, man, show up tomorrow on time. Let's keep it lit. And it's all topics all the time. The water cooler, man. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.